Alright, here's some ingredients I have for a quinoa salad I'm going to make. I just set them all out, rinsed off the tomatoes and green onions and the cilantro I'm probably going to use. And I'm going to show you some basic prep work skills here so that in future videos you kind of know what I'm talking about. Set that up. Okay. Alright, I'm going to start with the green onions here. So what I like to do with them is sometimes they have weird extra skins that you can take off. I have rinsed these all off. Some of them are kind of gross. I'll take those and peel those off. Then take the ends and slice off these parts with the roots. See? Turn a little bit. Alright, so then for this, and usually what you do with green onions is you just slice them. These are not going to be cooked, so I'm going to slice them right 1/4 of an inch. I feel like when you do cook vegetables, most do cook down at least, even just a little bit. These bottom parts are more oniony than the top stalks. Top stalks are really kind of light onion, look really pretty on top of things. Jazzy at. Alright. So I'm just going to move all of the vegetables that I cut up today into a side dish, because they are all just going to be thrown into a quinoa salad that we're going to make. Alright, so there's the onion. Let's do the tomatoes because they're also relatively simple. Literally, we're just going to half them. They're just little cherry tomatoes. Right down the middle. These don't have a lot of water, so they're easy to cut. Some tomatoes are quite watery. So you can see these have a nice inside and just a little bit of guts, or water by the seed part. Yes, I like to call it guts. So we're going to do about a cup of tomatoes here. I did 5 green onions, if you were wondering. I did not measure these out, as I like to freeform it. Probably just going to use all my tomatoes because I like them. Maybe I'll eat a few. Just a few more here. Yeah, so just half your tomatoes. I like to go the long way versus this short way, because you get more of that stem. I'll show you once. If you cut them in half, it does seem a little thinner and they're a little more, not as solid. That's what I should say. Usually cherry tomatoes you either leave whole or cut in half for recipes, it seems. Okay, perfect. So that's done. Next, we're going to do the carrots. I'm just going to use a big one. So I'm going to peel a carrot. I have a nice little peeler here that I like. It's all sorts of different kinds. It's just a whole carrot. See, once you peel it, you get the nice, more of a juicy and not as dry skin. Alright, so you just go around and peel it off. I'm going to cut the top off here. Alright, so now I'm going to show you what I do for strips. This is a really big carrot, so I'm going to cut it in half. This bigger guy is going to be a little easier. So we're going to first just do strips of carrot. You can do this with lots of other vegetables. I really like doing this with bell peppers. I like to eat the strips just as they are. These are going to be thick strips because of my carrot. Then we are going to kind of make them into more of a matchstick type cut, or it's called a julienne, so they're like long, thin strips. I only know a few terms for cutting. Usually I just kind of make the food as I want it, so some of these are too thick. You can buy carrots also cut in this way. They're literally called matchstick carrots. These are kind of thick. I mean, depending on how you like your carrots, though, I like the whole carrots because I can do so much more with them. I don't tend to eat the matchstick unless they're in something. So I find this saves me from wasting food. So I'm just going to thin out some of these. If you are new to cutting, take your time. I've definitely been cut a few times with knives. I feel like anyone who cooks has. Get a good knife too. Alright, so these are my julienne. They're far too long though. And some are still kind of big. Should have cut less at once. Also a good idea. I'm going to make them about an inch long like that. So I'll just stack them up and kind of roughly cut them. Actually, this recipe also will call for about a cup of these. So for what I have, actually will call that good. And I will eat this rest of this carrot by itself. Okay. I'm going to show you the cilantro, what I like to do. I've washed it, rinsed it off. It's got these pretty little leaves on it. So just to add some seasoning to the salad, we're going to peel off the leaves. Some of them are kind of bigger. You can definitely peel those in half. It's kind of hard to see from far away, isn't it? So we're just going to take off the leaves and make a little pile here. I don't actually have the recipe in front of me, so I'm just going to tell you how much to add at the end. I'll post the recipe also. This is a really delicious zesty quinoa salad that a coworker gave me. I should say gave all of us at work. We've all enjoyed it. I've just adapted it a bit. I can explain that to you also. Once I actually get the recipe and make sure I tell you it correctly. If you don't like cilantro, you can easily leave this out of this recipe. I know some people get that soapy taste. I'm lucky and don't. I do just a little more. Alright, so I just want to show you with what I have here. Some of these cilantros are kind of big, so I'm going to just roughly chop them. Swear, I'm just going to go through with my knife. I don't want them too small, but I want them smaller than they were. There's no like, they're all kind of different sizes still, which is fine. So that I'm just going to add in. Just going to show you a few other things for this recipe once I clear out my cutting board. Okay, so while we're here, I'm going to show you my lime. I'm going to juice this. I know you can get some handheld juicers. I have this old one. Similar concept. You just turn whatever citrus you have against this ridged edge. And you get juice. Or I get about 2/3 cup limes. So depending on your limes, it's usually about 2 or 3. Fresh is way better, I feel. So you can see normal. Nah, after you juiced it. And I like to keep this separate, don't put it straight in, so you can mix your spices in with it. Which I'm actually going to do right now. So I'm going to leave the pulp out. You can put it in if you want. Alright, so I like to add garlic to my recipes. Probably going to add, this is a half a teaspoon roughly. So add it right into the lime juice. Cumin. We're going to add 2 teaspoons. And I'm going to throw just a little extra in heaping. Heaping teaspoon means it's over the top, it's not flat. And for some spice, red pepper flakes. I'm just going to shake a few in. If you don't like spice, leave it out. Of course, no recipe is complete without some pepper. And then some salt. I always like to add a little because you can always add more. So I'm just going to set that aside until I'm ready to put it in my salad because that will be kind of the dressing. If you want, you can add 1/4 cup of oil. I sometimes add a little bit of water or vegetable broth also to help thicken it up. And then just watch the salt so that you don't over salt anything. Here is our quinoa. I've got a mixture here of red and white. It is not rinsed, so I'm going to do that next. Got a cup of quinoa, 2 cups of water. You can use broth also if you want to. Go put them in this pan. and rinse them through a little mesh because the quinoa can be a little dusty and kind of dirty. So we're going to just rinse it off here quick, throw it in the pan. So you put it on the stove and get it boiling. Cover it for 15 minutes and quinoa should be done then. Cover and cook on low heat once boiling. So I'm just going to add some vegetable broth to this mixture. It's kind of a little shaky. I think sometimes a little bit more liquid helps because the lime doesn't always work. You can add, oh, it's probably 2 tablespoons. Perfect. That makes up so much better. So there's our seasoning, cumin, pepper, peppers, a little garlic. I'm so excited to have this quinoa made now. Alright, let's see how our quinoa looks. So we had turned it to low heat. Once it boiled, covered it. Hard to see, but as you can tell, it's kind of split apart. More fluffy, expanded. You can see the little chunks. Alright, so give it a fluff. I'm going to throw it in a dish where I'm going to mix all my ingredients together for our salad. It looks great. I'm going to add all this quinoa into this big bowl. Ooh, got a little bit of water at the bottom. It'll soak it up. So I got black beans. Opened already. We're just going to drain and rinse them. Ooh, these are sticky. Wow, real sticky. So I'm just going to rinse those off, get all that juice off, and add them onto our quinoa. Perfect. Next, all those vegetables we cut up. Scallions, bell peppers, carrots, and the cilantro all goes in. I like to mix this up right now. It's okay if you add it in hot. It kind of doesn't really cook anything. I think sometimes the flavor can help incorporate a little bit more when it's warm. It smells so good already. Alright, then we have our lime sauce with our spices. So mix that up since everything might have settled. And this is our dressing, so we'll just pour it over and mix everything up again. Smells so fresh and so good. Okay. Well, I like to try just a little bit here so you can kind of tell how it tastes. So, I would eat this right now and not even wait. It is that good. But it's best to let it sit in the fridge for a few hours. I'll help it cool down. It's a cold salad. Put it in the fridge. All the flavors are going to incorporate so well. Oh, this is so good already though. So make this. It's easy. It's a great potluck. Gluten-free and delicious. Let's take a closer look. Oh, isn't that beautiful? All the colors. Alright, here is a garlic. a staple in many recipes. This is a whole garlic clove. We'll peel it apart. Usually one end you can get apart. And then these are what are called cloves. These are all pretty big. Sometimes they're different sizes. So what you need to do with this garlic is get this skin off. That one already came off. So there are a few ways you can do this. What I like to do, I cut the top just a little, and the bottom, that's where the roots were. It's got a little harder base. And then this way I can find a skin to peel off. And that can all get gone away. So there's a garlic clove. Can also, I've seen, smash it with your knife carefully. Comes off beautifully. Still have a little bit of hard stuff at the bottom. Ooh. Got lots of dark skin around, which I would cut off. I don't want that hard stuff. It's not gonna taste good. So that actually goes into the crushed garlic, which is what this is. Take your knife and you crush up your garlic. Palm of your hand to the knife. You can cut it up a little. Kind of helps open up the flavors. I guess I don't usually do this, but crushed and then chopped a little. You can slice your garlic like we've been doing with things, which I like. This is how I usually start when I'm mincing garlic, which is chopping it really small. So just go slow. See, I've got real thin pieces of garlic here. So then you're going to take your garlic and just go down and chop it. Alright, and to mince it, you want to get it real fine. Usually you just rock your knife back and forth. Use both hands. You can go over and kind of chop too. I like to clean off my knife because it all sticks to it. And do not touch the sharp pointy parts of your knife unless you're confident in your ability. And go back over, mince, mince, mince. This really opens up the flavor. It smells beautiful. Here's the non-sharp part. So, this is minced. I would say finely, roughly minced. And our crushed, those are bigger pieces, as you can see. Both are delicious. Both will add great flavor. I'm going to show you how I cut my onions here. First, you got to cut off the top. This piece you can just toss or compost. Then you'll take off that first layer of skin. It's usually pretty wrinkly and has some bad parts in it. I like to leave the back side attached, as you will see in a few minutes here. So once you're at this point, this is a great spot to start slicing your onion. For if you want to make sandwiches, sliced onion is perfect. You can just put the whole slice on or take the little rings out and put on however many you like to taste. Now I'm going to show you how I dice my onion. I'll turn it over, cut it in half through the roots there. And actually you can do smaller sliced onion this way too. Alright, now we'll dice our onion. So first I like to cut along, not all the way through. Sorry, my hand's in the way. Depending on how small you want your onion diced, you would make those cuts closer together. I'll do it on the second one and try to actually show you. So get close to those roots, but you don't want to cut all the way through because you want it to stay together. Alright, now you'll just cut down, and those slices you made will make these little diced pieces super easy. This saves a lot of time, I've found, especially if you have strong onion and your eyes start watering. This is super helpful. These little pieces just break apart and they are ready to be sauteed up for whatever meal you have in mind.